So now that it is officially Make America Healthy Again season, let's debunk this whole thing about seed oils, because everyone's freaking out about seed oils and like, are they really that bad? Like, I think that's probably easy to debunk. So when you Google a meta-analysis of seed oils, like a meta-analysis being a review of all the research, oh look, right there, scientists debunk claims of seed oil health risks, straight out of Harvard. Let's go. See, the internet may be full of posts saying that seed oils and canola and soy are toxic, but evidence doesn't support it, according to experts. All right. Guy Crosby, an adjunct professor at the T.H. Chan School of Public Health at Harvard, has more to say. Let's follow the money a little bit. When you Google the T.H. Chan School donors, you find out that they were renamed when they got the largest grant in Harvard's history, $350 million. It was given by this guy named Gerald Chan, who owns the Morningside Foundation. He's a billionaire from Hong Kong. His brother is also a billionaire. They run the Hang Lung Group. The Morningside Group is a private equity and venture capital group for billionaires. The Hang Lung Group is just its subsidiary. Hang Lung Properties is one of the largest property developers in Hong Kong. Let's remember, Harvard has a long history of pay-to-play donations with anyone who has a lot of money, regardless of morals and educational value, etc. So anyways, back to scientists debunking claims of seed oil being bad for you. Who is this Guy Crosby dude who is an expert? So it looks like he got his original college degree in chemistry, and then his career was in like food chemistry for a while until he became like some hotshot Hollywood cook with like some books and some TV shows, and you know the drill. Got a PhD in organic chemistry from Brown in 1969, researching the chemistry of cholesterol. We'll get back to cholesterol here in a second. So then he worked in a whole bunch of giant food corporations in their R&D department. Somewhere I found a story where he was talking about how he got the idea for flavored potato chips back before we had that, and that was like what got him into food chemistry, is putting all the flavor dust on chips. So you can imagine what kind of R&D homeboy is doing. So anyways, this PhD in 1969 about cholesterol. Well, if you had read The Big Fat Surprise by Nina Tai Schultz, whose PhD is in nutrition-focused, evidence-based nutrition policy, who's been running nonprofits and writing books instead of working for big food, you would know how she talks about how during those 60s and 70s, when they had just invented all of these alternative oils, they were pushing billions of dollars into all this weird cholesterol research, demonizing sugar, demonizing everything except for the fat that they were producing. And then it was weird. It was like, for millions of years, humans had just eaten animals and had no problems. There were certain populations of humans, like the Inuits, she goes into in detail, that ate exclusively animals and lived basically just off of only animal fats for huge portions of the year, because there's no plants that grow up there. And they had zero cancer, zero heart disease, zero anything. They were like the healthiest populations you could find. And then we invented all these weird new oils that came out of the war economy of World War II, and suddenly chronic disease skyrocketed. It's a mystery. Nobody knows. But definitely eating meat that we've done for millions of years is the problem. Seriously, read this book. It'll change your life. It'll change your perception of nutrition. It'll change your perception of food with with all sorts of deep evidence-based stuff, but also with deep follow the money and just common sense, like obvious common sense. So side quest, I realized that I don't actually own this book in physical form anymore. I don't know what happened to my copy. So I went to bookshop.org, which is a great alternative to Amazon. It's like a co-op of local bookstores that gets you all the same books for all the same prices with basically the same kind of shipping. It's amazing, and you're not supporting Amazon. So I picked myself up a copy. This is not a sponsorship. And then the second, not a sponsorship, this is just an app that I was made aware of recently, is Seed Oil Scout Healthy Dining, which I learned about because people kept on coming into Old State Saloon and telling us that they found out about Old State Saloon from the Seed Oil Scout map, which we'll get to in just a second. So anyways, I got curious and I downloaded this thing to see what it's all about. Side note, it does cost money after the first week. I think it's like 80 cents per month or something like that, which is like, I just forgot about it. Yes. Again, this is not sponsored. I've never talked to the people that run this thing. I was just curious. And it's Make America Healthy Again season. So they have this map with all these different markers on it that is user generated. Like, we all report on what restaurants have seed oils and what ones don't, and how good it is and how much you can trust them. And they got red and yellow, but then they got like Cooking is done with healthy fats, good stuff, and then no seed oils on the premises, dine fearlessly, and then some get actually verified. And here in Eagle, Idaho, there are some healthy restaurants, but Old State Saloon gets the check mark right next to a bunch of garbage. It says on the menu on the first page that they don't use seed oils. And as I am good friends with the guy that owns this restaurant, I love these guys. I love their family. They are the best humans around. They live their whole life by this mindset. They care deeply about this ethos. Mark specifically opened this restaurant with this in mind, to feed people healthy food. That goes all the way from having organic liquors and spirits at the bar, having high quality local beers on the taps, and having high quality, as locally as possible, sourced food in the kitchen. And side note, I used to work in kitchens for like 10 years, so I snuck in and took a peek and took a photo of their kitchen after hours to see how well they clean it, and it sparkles. Like, I don't know if you've ever worked in kitchens, but how well they clean their kitchen at night says a lot. And this was pristine. Like, I was genuinely impressed. Not easy to clean kitchens. So, you may have noticed that I'm like the grocery store aisle guy, and it's been weird that I've avoided talking about nutrition for almost my entire time on this platform. I've avoided the flame wars, I've avoided like talking about what's in the food, because I've just been talking about who owns everything, because that's a good way to sort of like get the ball rolling. But I myself had a chronic disease when I was younger, and I cured it with food. I have a bunch of deep-seated opinions about food, and they're just opinions, and I've done a lot of research, but I am no expert. Everyone's health is different. Everyone's genetics are different. Everyone's diets need to be different. But there are certain things in our food supply that are poisons, and you need look no farther than the basic statistics about chronic disease and health in America versus how much we spend, and then look around the world and ask what the hell is wrong with us. And the answer is that big money has been big profiting off of big poisoning all of us big and bigger people for generations now. So from now on, you're going to hear me talking a lot more about health, and you're going to see a lot more content about making America healthier again, because the chronic disease epidemic is not just our physical health, it is also our mental and our spiritual health. And I know the election is a touchy subject right now. I understand. I have spent portions of my life on both sides of the aisle. I have good friends on both sides of the aisle. I understand. But healthy food for healthy kids, for a healthy America, that should not be political. And anyone that tries to make that political, I have questions.
When on Tuesday, they're going to ban Doritos. Oh, where's the proof? Where's the proof? Right there. That's a fucking bag of Cooler Ranch Doritos. He's saying ban these poisons, and this is the man who will become in charge of America's food.
Like, do you hear yourself, Promania? Do you hear yourself? First off, no one's talking about banning Doritos. They're talking about banning all the poisons that are in Doritos. And second off, yeah, they're great. We get it. Like, yes, Doritos and Mountain Dew are tasty. Why are they tasty? Drugs. There's an awful lot of drugs out there that feel pretty great to do. Doesn't mean they're good for you. I mean, I hate to say it, but like, this pretty much sums it up. Secretary of Health or Secretary of Health. Like, I mean, come on. And here's the big problem is health is up to you. And we all know that. We all know that at a certain level, your physical, mental, and spiritual health is your own fault. It's your own responsibility. And it sucks to take responsibility for being extremely overweight or for having chronic disease or for having any of these other issues. And yes, you are being poisoned. And yes, there are billions of dollars of propaganda that have tricked you from birth, often without your choices, to make you this way. But the solution is up to you, and it's super hard. And for some people, it's way harder than for others, but you can do it. You can turn your health around. And the thing about being healthy is that when you turn your physical health around, when you start walking, you start getting sunlight, you start eating good food, your mental health improves too. Your spiritual health improves too. The body is a complex system, and it's all tied together, and it's all getting poisoned for profit by big mega corporations, and we all know it. So stop making it partisan. Stop worrying about who is, no one cares. Do something good for yourself today. Eat something healthy. Take the first step towards being healthier, and together we will make America healthier again.